even though my brother and I have both past generations of Jeep Wranglers, we couldn't pass up the offer to buy this beautiful 1991 Jeep Wrangler YJ. And when I say beautiful, I am being a little lenient. This Jeep does have its positives and its negatives, and that's what we're going to go over now. So, to start with the positives, as with many Jeep Wranglers of the past, the frames are crap. Water and crap gets inside of them, and they rust. So, for having as many miles as I'm about to tell you, this Jeep has a spotless frame. When I say spotless, I mean it. My Jeep with 168,000 miles has a worse frame than this Jeep that has, you'll hear it in a second. Now, the other really big positive, well, to me anyways, and a lot of potential Jeep buyers, is that this is a manual transmission. This Jeep does have the 5-speed transmission, and it's even got the skull shifter. If that's not the epitome of cool, then I don't know what is. Now, another great thing about this Jeep is the fact that it has half doors. So, for all the non-Jeep people out here, half doors essentially is one of these stupid regular doors with half of it cut off, and the rest is just like the rest of the soft top. So what this means is, you can take this whole entire piece off if you don't want to go doorless. You still have the safety of, keeping you in case you roll over, which is highly likely in a vehicle like this. And then you can put it on when it rains, like it is now, and you have this nice shaky wind sound, even worse than when you're driving with the regular soft top. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much I did buy this Jeep for, but it was very inexpensive, and so, of course, that means it's going to come with some negatives to it. So, I'm going to now tell you the negatives of this very cheap Jeep. So, we're here on the inside of the Jeep, and now I'm going to tell you the number one reason why this Jeep was so inexpensive, and the number one negative as to why it's not entirely perfect. 275,000 miles. Now, I was hesitant on calling the high mileage a negative because, high miles on anything is really, a little iffy on some cars. But this is a Jeep, right? This has the straight 4 engine, which theoretically should run for a lot longer if you keep it well maintained, right? For the next con of this Jeep, I'll start it up for you. This Jeep does have an exhaust leak somewhere, which doesn't make it sound very good. Which actually makes it sound like a damn airplane, is what I'm trying to say. Now, another negative that I wasn't sure if it was a negative or positive or not was the fact that, as I said before, it does have a 4-cylinder engine. This does have the 2.5 liter, 150 cubic inch straight 4 engine, which is essentially the 4-liter straight 6 Jeep engine that's in my Jeep TJ over there, with 2 cylinders cut off of it. You might think that it robs power, or it might have less power. You'd be right, but that Jeep with the straight 6 engine does about 55, 60 miles an hour on the highway. It's also on 33-inch tires with a 3-inch lift. Downhill with a tailwind, you can get it to about 65, 70 if you're really feeling ballsy that day. This Jeep, with my brother and I in it, on 30-inch tires, stock suspension, with the 4-cylinder, did 75 miles an hour on the highway. So, is that a positive or a negative? That's for you to figure out. Plus, if I were to keep it like this with that nice exhaust leak, people might think I have a lot bigger engine than I really do. Now we're back in the interior for the final major drawback of this cheap Jeep. And that's the fact that when it's running, when it's driving, I'd assume when it's up to temperature, steam likes to seep through the vents in an attempt to kill you. I don't know if it'll do it now. We'll start it up and see. So, you might want to cover your ears. Ooh, babe. It's not exactly happening now, but through up here on this vent, steam rises up quite a lot. And it's not the safest thing, but it's something to do with the heater, and it can be fixed, which I will try to do. Now, as I said before, a clean frame Jeep Wrangler with a stick shift is never a bad buy, especially for the price that my brother and I picked this one up for. With a good clean, good interior clean, some body work, maybe a little bit of engine work, this Jeep will be a nice, fun little toy.